Hey, you're back. I'm glad you joined me. All right. I'm here to talk about Chad and Helliger. Nope. I'm here to talk about Norma Dumont versus Danyelle Wolf. I should have just done the other one. Whatever. Lost my momentum. Norma Dumont is, I don't know what her ranking is, but there's featherweight. So she's a featherweight, which means she's top 5 in the world. And the winner of this fight gets the next 2 title shots. I don't know. The division needs some fucking structure, and whatever. It's only held up by Amanda Nunes. The fact that she has 2 championship belts, but never mind. Nevertheless, let's talk about this fight. Norma Dumont versus Danyelle Wolf. Danyelle Wolf making her debut. She's almost 40 years old. She's a boxer primarily. Of course, she's trained at everything and whatever and done some grappling, but she's a boxer. Had a career and a half as a boxer since 2006 to whatever, 2 years ago or something. And she's 1-0 as an MMA fighter. Took out, I don't remember her name, 5-1 girl over on Dana White's Contender Series. And she looked good doing it. Not great, but she looked good doing it. And she does have this, again, you'll think I'm saying it's just because of the boxing, and I guess I am, but she's got this Holly Holm quality to her, in my opinion. Just physically, where she could be a good anti-wrestler, but I just see Norma Dumont. I don't know. It's tough to just look away from Norma Dumont putting her away. Winning the fight, of course, which putting her away is a tall order, in any female division, whatever. But she should, on paper. Norma Dumont's one of the top fighters in the world, and she's seasoned. She's seasoned inside the octagon. Fought all these great fighters. She's shaken off her rust, gotten her knockout loss out of the way to Megan Anderson, which, not that that's not a blueprint here for Danyelle Wolf, but Norma Dumont has since engaged in some longer battles, largely contested on the feet and on the ground, and she's fared very well. As I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, the Macy Chiasson one, she was beaten by Macy Chiasson, which, a lot of that was just being overwhelmed by Macy's size, the fact that she's the size of Alistair Overeem, and that, even though Danyelle Wolf's quite big herself, size shouldn't play a role in this one. It could, I suppose. It is WMMA, it is the 145-pound division. Again, everybody's a top 5 fighter, but Norma Dumont on paper should just be too much for Danyelle Wolf everywhere, even on the feet. And, of course, she's going to have, Danyelle Wolf's going to have sharper hands, but Norma Dumont is a good fighter. We've seen her fight very well at range against Aspen Ladd and whoever else. Felicia Spencer just pieced her up, or, largely dominated her, got the better of her without really hurting her too badly. But Norma Dumont's a very good striker, and I forget what her belt is or whatever, but she's solid grappling. She's got really solid grappling on paper anyway. Doesn't always produce a finish, but this is a fight in which it should. She should be able to have a way to get this fight to the ground, and once there, she should have a way to submit Danyelle Wolf. Just on an MMA versus boxing level fucking basis. She should. And that's my prediction and bet. I'm thinking Norma Dumont finds a way to get her out of there with the submission. At range, Norma Dumont does not help us against Danyelle Wolf. She's got to be careful with the knockout punch and whatever. But Norma is a very diverse striker, and I see her being better than Danyelle Wolf. It's tough to see Norma taking anyone down, but I know she's got it in her. Not that it's tough to see her taking anyone down. I see her as one of these fighters who's looking to strike. But in a fight like this, it might be evident that she is trying to take it to the ground. I'm thinking it will be, and if you get her I played her via submission in rounds 2 and 3 at plus 1,200 and 1,600. I just think, if she wins, and it could come via ground and pound or whatever, but I want to see the submission grappler emerge inside the UFC. Danyelle Wolf is a girl who's, it's not even like her boxing record's that great, but she's a boxer. She's been boxing for years and whatever. And absolutely her MMA game is geared toward boxing, where she'll have the biggest advantage. And I know that means she's worked on her takedown defense, and I know she's worked on grappling and whatever, but this is MMA. There's a lot of different tactics. And I'm hoping Norma Dumont makes her pay, gets her to the ground. If she's not able to impose her wrestling, then traps a leg kick and gets her down. And on the ground, I do expect to see dominance from Norma Dumont. And it's not like Danyelle Wolf looked perfect on the Contender Series as well, but she looked good. She was in against a more seasoned fighter. 6 fights, like I said, 5-1. But Danyelle Wolf bullied her around, and she did look very good. It's just, you want to believe in your heart there's a difference between the UFC and the Contender Series. And while that's true in just about every weight class, I don't know about female 145. But still, I've seen Norma Dumont take out Felicia Spencer and Aspen Ladd and whoever the hell else. Ashley Evans Smith, I think. And she's... did she take out Ashley? Yeah, whatever. Either way, she's my pick to win this fight, and I'm picking her to win via submission round 2. It's just... the world's got to make sense to me, and that needs to happen for the world to make sense. All right, thanks for tuning in. And by the way, I did bet on Danyelle Wolf to win via knockout at plus 600 because I'm not fucking stupid. But and that's because I've seen Norma Dumont, and she could win a decision, I suppose. There's a lot of room. This is not the most refined division. She could win a decision, but I'm just I need my world to make sense. Norma Dumont wins this fight. I've got her winning via submission. And thank you for tuning in. I will talk to you guys in about 3.5 seconds because I need a breather here.